My name is Paul Reiber. I'm a member of the Krenov Foundation board, and we are going to interview students in the program on this last week of the school year.
My name is Laura Mays. I was a student here from 2001 to 2003.
And you are currently the head teacher.
Yes, that's right.
What was your background before you came to school?
After leaving high school, I went and studied architecture, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a fantastic education and got a degree in that. But as soon as I started working as an architect, it was a very different picture. It was just like I really disliked telling other people what to do. I felt like the making part was so separate from the designing part, and like other people were dealing with all the nitty-gritty and the consequences of what somebody else tells them to do. And there's a kind of like a big distance between them making the idea and the making. And I just kind of like did other stuff for a while. I worked as a graphic designer, and I traveled to Japan, and I got the Trans-Siberian Railway, and I just did a bunch of kind of kicking around stuff. And then I came across a woodworking course in Ireland, and I did that for 2 years. And it was kind of like, I think I was about 3 days in before I was like, this is fantastic. This is what I like.
So how did you hear about the Krenov School and come up with the nerve to...
I think I'd heard about him as this kind of name, you know, but I hadn't really, nothing had sunk in. And then I remember being in a bookstore in Dublin. Waterstone's bookstore's gone now, and being upstairs there in their woodworking section and seeing the With Awakened Hands book and pulling it out and being like, what is this? Like, who are these people? Where are they? This is amazing. And it said on the back cover that James Krenov kind of lives and works and teaches in Fort Bragg, California. So I Googled that, and I remember it was 1999, before Google was just getting up and running. And David Welter had that little HTML website, and so I found out about it, and I applied, and my grandmother had just died and left me like £4,000, English pounds. So I had, a little bit of money, and I thought I'd see what it was all about.
What stands out as you think about your experience in school, either teaching moments or particular moments in doing your projects? I mean, I realized that was a while ago.
Well, let's see. I remember getting, obviously I'd read Krenov's books by that point. After With Awakened Hands, I'd read the others. And the style of the books, really, the literary style of them I found amazing. They pull you in, they draw you along. They're like a kind of rolling train or something. You kind of like, you can kind of open them anywhere and you're immersed immediately. So I came here very much because of Krenov. But when I got here, it was his last year of teaching, and he was not very friendly, basically. He seemed like a different person than the person that I had got to know in the books. But yet the community of the place was so strong, and I just felt really kind of like coherent and caring and in depth, and we were really going deep into our work and all that stuff that people say about, like, I felt changed. I learned a lot about myself. It's really hard. I find all those phrases really interesting, but I also am like, what did I learn about myself? And I still, in a way, don't know the answers, but you still feel you're very much kind of like digging deep into yourself. And I think that it was a gift that was given to me, like, those 2 years that I spent as a student. So I often feel like that's what's happening. We're passing on this gift to somebody else, this gift of going deep, being immersed, having a kind of a lack of pressure of time from the outside world, things like that. So it's kind of like passing on a gift, I think.
I imagine that informs your sense of how you teach and your vision for the school.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in some ways, I want to pass on what I was given, but I don't want to pass on exactly the same thing. So it's transmuted or transformed by like kind of passing through me or passing through the current instructors. Like it's constantly in change. Everything's in change all the time. So yeah, there's a kind of it's a balancing act often between keeping things as they were and adapting and changing as things roll on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm very impressed with the subtle ways that the style of the school has changed since you've taken over, and it makes me wish there could kind of be a time lapse sequence of the year-end projects, just to watch the way. To my eye, anyway, the style and the approach has kind of broadened and changed over the years, and I'm really grateful to you for that, for carrying on that, and like you say, not changing but changing.
Yeah, you know. It's a balancing act. Yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to do that. It's like I do quite often wake up and go, wow, I have like the best job in the world. Like what could be better, frankly, than like passing on this beautiful thing to other people,
right.
You know?
Right.
It's great.
Right. Well, thank you.
Sure.
This has been fun.
Thank you.